What's up, everybody? Jay Leone here today with another video slash tutorial slash review slash look slash whatever. Today, no intros or anything. We're gonna get right into it. We're gonna look at the Smok TF R2 rebuildable deck here. This is the rebuildable deck for the TF4, which we reviewed last week. This guy here, this beastly tank. I got this at sweetvapes.com for $14.95. It's just a dual coil rebuild deck for your TFV4 tank. For those that are interested in dual coils instead of singles, it comes with the single coil rebuild deck, but it does not come with the dual coil deck. So let's get down to the table and let's build on it, and I'll show you a little bit about this deck here. Alright, so here we are up close with the TF R2. This is the dual coil rebuildable section for the Smok TFV4 tank. This comes just like this. I got it from Sweet Vapes, upside down, sweetvapes.com. Yes, it comes in a nice little package like this, and you slide this off, and inside you're gonna get this little carrying case thingy here with your head. You're going to get a pack of, looks like Japanese organic cotton, and you're going to get a couple pre-built coils here ready to go, a couple spare screws, and an O-ring it looks like. So you're going to get everything you need actually to get started if you're new to this and don't have materials. You're going to get all the stuff you're going to need. Set that aside. Let's open up the head here. Just rip this baggie. You can see here some labeling. It says Smok TF R2, which is just the 2 stands for dual coil, and because it's for a dual coil rebuildable deck. And then at the top, it's all one piece. It's got some knurling here, and it just unscrews like so. And then inside, you'll see 2 pre-built coils in here already. You can see it's kind of got the same rebuild deck as the sub tank mini did, where it's kind of got the screws with these walls around it where you just trap your wire right in there. Nice holes there. We're going to take these out and we'll look at it a little bit better. Big beefing holes here in the bottom. Let's compare that to the tri-coil. Maybe a little bit smaller, yeah. Looks like they could be a little bit smaller than the ones in the tri. See that for yourself. But yeah, let's take these coils out. Let's install some new coils and new wick. Grab the base here. Now I can get a better look at this. Pretty good size holes here. Let's see, does this rod? Yeah, this is a 2.5mm rod, and that fits in that hole with plenty of room to spare. So if I had to guess, they look like maybe 3.5mm holes here. So nice big airflow slots for your airflow. And then you got these nice big wick channels here, which again, this 2.5mm rod fits in there easily. So I would say they're 3mm juice flow slots here. And you got 4 of those, 2 on each side. So let's get a coil wrapped here. I got some 26 gauge regular good old Canthal wire. Nothing special. We're just going to build 2 dual coils here. I think I'm going for about 6 wraps on each side. Again, you know, depends how low you want to go. I'm not going for anything super low. Straighten that lead out there. You can see run-of-the-mill micro coil 6 wraps. I'm going to do that again off camera and I'll come right back. Alright, so here we go. I just got my Nemesis head here and stuck it on there just to make it a little easier to see. I've got 2 Canthal 26 gauge coils, 6 wraps each, and I'm just going to insert them in here. Now, if you could see, I have the screws almost screwed out all the way, just to the point where they're barely hanging in there. And you can see gaps on each side of the screw. And that's where your leads are going to go. So, let me do one on camera, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Take this lead and go on the farthest side away from the screw, just like that. Then you take your other lead and go closest. So one's on the outer side and one's on the inner side, and then with the other coil you're going to do the exact same thing. So just like that. And they'll stay in there because the screw's not letting them lift up. So this is very easy. So you can see one's on the outer side, one's on the inner side. And then on the opposite side coil, you'll do the exact same thing. You can see my coil's all janky. I kind of want it, you're going to kind of want to do a center build. You're going to want the coil to sit here in the center, right over this airflow. A little bit tricky because you have to put both coils in before you can actually tighten down the screws. So I'm going to do the other one real quick. You see I took the coils, got them pushed in, they're all wonky and off where they're not supposed to be. And I took the leads and I bent them back around these lips here, and that actually just holds them in place. So you can see this lead here, I threw it through and then pulled it right around. Did the same thing with this one, and it's just keeping tension on these coils so they don't move. And then come in with your screwdriver and tighten those up. I got the wrong Phillips head on here for this. And I used 26 gauge because I feared that those gaps between the screw posts would not be big enough for bigger wire, but I think you may have been able to use 24 gauge probably. But the 26 works fine in here, as you could see. And you can see everything's janky. Just make sure those are nice and tight. Which they are. And you can see again, they're all janky. I'll do this little tuck here. I just twist and pull on all my leads. And from this point, we're all cleaned up. And I'm going to give you a quick tip here, because if you're a vertical fan like I am, you could do vertical coils with this quite easily actually. It would just be getting the cotton around it the right way, which would be tricky. But you could actually take this coil and, you know, just move it vertically like that. And you could stick your tool inside the air hole to keep it straight while you're doing that. But I'm going to go horizontal because that's what seems like it's going to be the easiest here, for the sake of video time. So we got that one straightened out right over the air hole. We'll do the same with this one. So you could possibly do a vertical coil if that's what you want to do. Just straighten her out. Boom. So my coils are there, right above the airflow. A little dry fire and some pinching together real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, so they're all dry fired and I squinched them together, and you could see them glow here. They're glowing nice and evenly. Center out. And we're getting, what are we getting? 0.4 ohms. And that was a 6 wrap of 26 gauge. So it's not too tricky. It's a little bit fidgety. They're not perfect right there over the air holes, but they're good enough and they'll work. Let's wick this bad boy up and show you how that is. Alright, so I got a nice piece of cotton. Just cut it off my sheet right here. Boom, and I peeled the 2 outer layers right off. And all I'm left with is fluffy cotton, and I'm going to cut it in half basically. Alright. So left with 2 pieces like this, and that will do. Roll my one end here. Your cotton. Pull her through. Something like that. And do the same thing on the other side. And you should get something like that. And then we're going to trim this cotton here. I'm going to grab these scissors. We'll cut these long ends off. Boom, boom, boom. And you don't need a lot of cotton in here. Sorry, guys. You don't need a lot of cotton. Basically, if you remember the build video I did for, which one was it? The Goblin. You're kind of doing the same thing. You have those holes here on the underneath, on the other side, and you're kind of just, you don't want to block those holes, but you just want to rest the cotton above it. And on this side I have too much, this side I have too much, so it is very minimal amounts of cotton here. And we're going to grab some juice and just start wetting our cotton so we can set it in place. And there we go. And then you're just going to take your cotton and literally just sit it up against this hole. You don't want to plug the hole, but you know, just sit it just like that. Just like that. Just like that. And now, this is not my favorite way of wicking atomizers, but it seems where all of them are going this way now, where you just kind of less wick and you just prop it right up against the wick hole, and that's it. And here, let's give it a fire and see if she fires, and she sure does. What the hell? And then we're just gonna put our top cap on here. And be careful because you don't want to move those wicks too much. So just gently screw that on. And I'll show you one more thing before I do take it out. I figured I'd show you this better angle here of how everything is. You can see some of the wicks are actually sitting, a little bit of the wick is sitting inside that little slit. So kind of like that is how your cotton should be positioned. See a little bit of the cotton just hanging right in that channel, but it's not stuffed in there. You don't want to block it. And that's it. Another thing to note, when you do screw on this top cap, the cap will actually do a lot of the work, and it will actually position the wick where it needs to go. It just always does. It always keeps that wick right in its slot and pushes it if it needs to be pushed in. So don't be too concerned about it. It doesn't have to be the best looking thing in the world, but I just wanted to point that out real quick before we close this up here. Okay, we got that on there. I'm going to fill it up, and we're going to go up top, and we're going to vape on it, and we'll let you know how it works. So that's how you build on it. It's not too bad. It's not the easiest, and it's definitely not the hardest by any means. You have a similar wicking design as the Goblin RTA. If you've used that one before, you'll know what I'm talking about. Where you kind of just lay those wicks on top of the channel, and you don't jam them in there necessarily, but you have a little bit of cotton kind of just going down into the channel, but not jammed, so it stuffs and jams that wick hole. Because if you do jam those holes, you won't get any wicking, and it just won't work right. So, and as far as the coils go, they're a little bit of a pain because you have 2 posts and you have to put 4 wires, so you have to share post for wire. And like I was showing, you kind of stick that wire in, then just pull it back around the post, and it will hold it in there nice and tight while you fandangle with the coils. My build came out to 0.4 ohms, and I'm using around 40 watts right now. It's going to be 4 volts of power out of my Sigelli 150. And I've had no dry hits, no wicking problems. Flavor's really nice on this for a sub-ohm tank. And airflow is not restricted whatsoever. Most sub-ohm tanks, you do get restrictive airflow. Like the Sub-Tank Mini, you put in that rebuild section, you do get a little bit of restricted airflow. With this guy, I haven't had that happen. I have a few vapes on and show you the production. It vapes great. It's just the vapor that comes out of this is just amazing for a sub-ohm tank. It's RDA vapor quality, you know. And the flavor's not RDA quality yet, but it's very, very good for a sub-tank. For a sub-ohm tank, I should say. This is actually the first tank where I was actually sitting on the couch behind me, that blue ugly recliner that's there. It's my couch. I was watching TV, and the wife happened to say, stop it because you're blocking my screen. She actually couldn't see whatever she was watching because of the vapor. So that's the first tank that's actually created an issue with vapor. So yeah, if you're a dual coil guy and you like dual coils and you have a TFV4 tank from Smok, this is definitely a necessity. The dual coil RBA section. And you don't want to spend the money on the coils because they are very expensive. Coils at about 25 bucks a pack. So it's another great option if you're a do-it-yourself kind of guy and you don't want to spend that $25 on a 5-pack of coils. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's $14.95 at sweetvapes.com. And yeah, I'll put the links for everything. I'll put the link for the tank and everything all below. So if you're interested in it, you can check that out for yourself. Tune next week for the winner to be announced. We're going to pick the winner for the giveaway that we were doing. It ends this week, so later this week there will be a vlog, and in the vlog I'll post the winner for that giveaway. So that's what's next. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, as always, I'll put a link down here in the corner so you can subscribe. Thank you all for watching. I hope this was helpful to some of you, and live well and vape on.